First up is an ordinary man in every sense of the word. 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 2 balls, 1 for each penis. He's the author of the chapbook Character Pieces and the forthcoming novel, I Didn't Mean to Be Kevin, and is a machine of parts. His newest Stranger Will be released on the 18th of this month and is currently available for pre-order. Take a card at the table, right over here, for all the pre-order infos. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for Caleb J. Ross.
This is such a weird situation. I don't know how many of you guys go to readings ever. This is not what a reading usually is, so I am a little out of place here. I thank Brandon for hooking me up here and allowing me to be here. And I also thank the makers of Colt 45 grape flavor, deliciously racist. So it really is super delicious. I'm going to set it right here in this handy drink coaster here. This is the chapbook that's here. It's actually it's available for anything you have on you, $1, $5, whatever. It's right here. It's good, I promise. It kind of looks like a penis on the cover, so that's all. I am going to read something here, actually, from a book that doesn't come out until 2012. So hopefully this makes such an impression that you'll remember it in 2012. I was originally going to read some quite disgusting. I have a book that I'm giving out. I'm doing what's called a blog tour, basically, for my forthcoming book, where I just post guest blogs on a variety of blogs from now until November. And one of the things I'm giving away is an STD textbook. If you're a groupie and you comment on all the blogs, you get a free STD textbook. And you like how it works? And it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was actually going to read from that. But then I realized that's not cool, so I decided not to. So I'm going to read a little bit from As a Machine in Parts, which is a novella that comes out in 2012. Hopefully it's funny enough for you. Short and funny is always a good way to go with these kind of readings. So hopefully it'll work a little bit, but we'll see. Without further ado, here it is. Oh, and I should set up a little bit, actually. This is the first chapter, but still I should set up a little bit. Basically, the book is about a guy who slowly turns into a machine. As dumb as that sounds, I think I actually handle it pretty well. And this opens up. It's a guy named Eric who is the son of a mother who is involved with the narrator. So it's basically Eric and this guy, they're the same age, but the guy, the friend, is actually dating Eric's mom. So it's a very sort of weird situation in the household. So we'll see how that goes. All right, here it goes. Eric tosses night glow emergency phone number magnets at a 1970s retro avocado green fridge, hard enough to rattle the rebuilt compressor. The term rebuilt used loosely. He brags weekly of having fixed the botched part, defending his neophyte mechanic's talents by blaming subsequent failures on untouched pieces. Marcia, his mother, has owned this fridge for years, since we first met. We shared many reheated carry-out steakhouse dinners, and for that I continue to pray Eric gets smart soon. The magnets, comped from his part-time at KCP&L Energy, he handles with dirty fingers and perpetually grimed knuckles. This makeup is seemingly imperative to his skill. He's good. The magnets rarely reflect. A hit, and a loose coil somewhere vibrates applause. Heard you and my mom this morning, he breathes this revelation through widened gaps of his clenched yellow teeth. He doesn't smoke cigarettes. The yellow hue has always baffled me. Which part, the moans or the screams? The magnet ricochets, a rare miss. Eric has a shaggy-haired, hunched-shouldered look somewhere between flea market redneck and barefooted hippie, with a mental disposition of both extremes to keep him constantly on the verge of red v. blue political explosion. For as long as I've known him, he's sworn to one day get back at this fucking world for what he never addresses. Possibly for giving him the ever scent of sunbaked urine and rubber. I keep Marcia's windows open when he's home. This morning's post-coitus exchange warrants all the more mutual antipathy considering our close ages. Eric and I share nostalgic reference. G.I. Joe cartoons and China-made cereal box toys. We even shared a classroom once in 4th grade, but only briefly, as Eric ultimately traded education for paint fumes and carburetors. His then neighbor, still his neighbor, now a friend, named Ferret, embraced the role of teacher. By the end of what would be 4th grade, Eric knew how to lynch a smooth joint. I like him for this. So far, only this. I break his magnet's fire line for a slice of cheese and some mayonnaise. The refrigerator door handle stinks of spilled milk, long forgotten but fitting to the kitchen's organically upholstered decor. Things spill, things stay. Breadcrumbs decorate the mildewed counter tile grout. Aerosol degreaser overspray lacquers the walls, the oven, the dying plant leaves to a spotty, reflective patina. The daytime home remodeling TV shows that Eric calls school would name this style Vagabond Rustic. I let the door swing hard against this deteriorating gasket and make a show of wiping my greased hand on the nearby towel. You should major in house cleaning and fix this gasket. Eric waits a few beats before responding. Hey, do me a favor and hit her harder tonight. I like that, he grins, gathering magnets from the door. That's your mother. It's the only threat I have. I'm not his father, I'm his peer. Marcia and I will never marry. She's too old, I'm too smart. It's a shame Eric and I can't bond. Grade school clique residue keeps us forever apart. He, an angry deadhead, torn jeans, Metallica t-shirts, his uniform. Me, intelligence and a taste for sweeter sounds. Perhaps if I were to change, we could all come together as a family, a hastily soldered, yet solid family. If you listen hard enough, you'll hear me moan back from my room, Eric says. The magnet cuts the air. His mother's sudden appearance curbs my rebuttal, breaching the kitchen and a t-shirt I left on the floor weeks ago. I think originally I took it from Eric's closet and hurried to escape Eric's inconvenient return home. This was before his mother and I decided to out our relationship. We've since grown comfortable with him as we've grown comfortable with ourselves. How are my boys this morning? Her skin smells of copper and hair, of headboard wood stain. We redecorated earlier this week. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, Eric says, but smiles like he's delivering genuinely helpful information. You know I'm great, I say. What's for breakfast, she asks, reaching for a mug from the delicate stack of clean enough dishes filling the sink. Sausage, I smirk. An angry magnet shaves my earlobe, whapping to the fridge door. I'm impressed. The compressor reports with a tingling vibration. I thought you fixed that, Eric. She fills the cup with the yesterday's coffee and sets the microwave for a full minute. Probably the cylinder blocked this time. I'll get it tomorrow. Have you checked the mechanic? Another missile, this one hard to my back, then drops to the ground. Watch it, son. Another magnet to my neck, then another. I kick the felt weapon under the refrigerator. Can it, Eric? Mitchell's back isn't right, you know that. She turns to the cabinet for bread. I leverage her turned interest to pantomime sex. Hips and ass slaps. Eric takes the bait and throws an entire stack of magnets at my chest. Fuck, I yell, genuine pain. 3 days ago, Ferret asked Eric and I to help him sleeve a dead llama with an understood beer and conversation payment. Ferret's first words upon our arrival were an unprovoked insistence on the animal having been found dead. I didn't kill it, which means in Ferret speak that he did kill it. Ferret would kill anything if it meant keeping the skin. I don't know if sleeve is his word or legitimate taxidermy jargon. He says it with such nonchalance that I'd argue for the former. It means the opposite of skinning, replacing a threaded hide over the stuffed mold, post-gutting. The term sleeving misleads a textile-savvy layman such as myself, implying a simple loose wrap with zero mess. But the skin fits tight and produces plenty of mess. They should call it socking, or Marcia stuffing, I say, to Eric during our visit, checking back a laugh. I blame his subsequent animosity and hesitancy to help after my fall on this beautiful comment. Two things. One, blood is slick. And two, Ferret is not a professional. I took the low end when transporting the freshly found body to Ferret's basement and slipped, landing sandwiched between the greasy concrete and 300 pounds of warm loma. The resulting pain wasn't muscular entirely, nor a skeletal thing. Ferret said he had experienced blunt force trauma and elected to inspect the contact point with a stethoscope he kept to ensure death when it's not so obvious. I hoped he meant the animals. After awkward minutes and additional strange jargon, these words I'm positive are his, longitudinal breakage, suede abrasion, 100-pound test line stitches, he gave me the okay to assure me that I was glad that I was still good to sleeve. I worked well, too, impressing both him and myself. He called me a machine and welcomed my help anytime. Eric and I, as best we have ever done before, bonded over blood. I fear what that means. They're fucking magnets, Eric says, prying more weapons from the fridge. Don't tell me that hurt your back. They hurt my back. Marcia removes her coffee from the beeping microwave, intercepting another magnet. Eric Charles, she yells. The sweet mother's tone, using a middle name, works for me in dangerous ways. I'm sure he didn't mean it, I say, embracing the moment, nodding toward the bedroom. She grins. Eric fumes. I catch Eric digging under the fridge through the filth from my kicked magnet. His audible disgust warns me of the impending projectile. But I have other things on my mind, other positions and scents already clouding my brain. The magnet cuts the air, contact with my neck. But this time the smack against the linoleum doesn't happen. I rip the projectile from my skin and rotate it to keep it. And rotate and return it, but the magnet won't leave my hand. I'll keep it then, I say. Sex and sweat on the brain, and escort Marcia to the back room, her coffee left steaming on the kitchen counter.
Caleb J. Ross, everybody.